Hello guys, Greg back with another video. So today I'm doing my top 10 spring fragrances for 2018. These are all just personal choices of mine. These are the ones that I'm wearing and that I'm enjoying the most this spring. I'm a little bit later than most people with this list. I like to do my seasonal lists during the season rather than at the beginning. And we've still got a month left of spring over here in the UK. Before we get into the list, as always, watch of the day. So I'm wearing this Breitling Chronomat 44 known as the Flying Fish. Reference AB0116. I'm actually selling this watch if anyone's interested, so hit me up if you like the look of it. So on the list anyway, number 10. This is from a house that's kind of famous for its fresh cologne type scents, and this one actually has its critics, but I think it's really good. I enjoy this one. It's from Acqua di Parma and it's called Colonia Club, and it's fresh, aromatic, it's minty, and it's got lavender in. It's kind of very zesty citrus, and there's a real nice vetiver base in this one. I'd describe it as being kind of invigorating, it's uplifting, it's very green and perfect one for spring. I think it deserves a little bit more love than it gets actually. That one's Colonia Club. Number 9. I don't think anyone else has ever spoken about this one. But this is from a company called Aran Aromatics. They're a Scottish company. And the fragrance is called Bay Citrus. Now, unsurprisingly, it's a citrus fragrance, but most citrus fragrances can be a little bit dull, a little bit linear, but this fragrance is really interesting. It's got the note of bay leaf in here, which is such a fragrant note. It's herbaceous and spicy, and there's a real balance of spice, because there's nutmeg or oregano in here. I can never tell them apart, but there's one of those in there, and it works really well. I checked just before shooting the video on this, and they've actually changed the name of this fragrance. It's now called Locranza Patchouli and Anise. But unfortunately, the company don't ship outside of the UK. It's just a UK restriction on sending perfumes abroad. But I'll leave a link anyway for anyone that is able to get hold of this. It's a cheapie. It's only £30 for 100ml, but it's a really good fragrance and it lasts a long time as well. Well worth checking out. Number 8. So I've got Chad to thank for this one. He does review a lot of shit. Love you, Chad. But this one actually is really, really good. And this is from his beloved house of Ferrari, and it's called Bright Neroli. It's a simple fragrance, but quite a beautiful fragrance actually. It's very fresh, clean and inoffensive. It's basically a citrus white floral, kind of in the same vein as Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. Perfect warm weather scent. Doesn't last very long for me, but I know a lot of people get decent performance out of that. But another cheapie, well worth checking out. Number 7. No big surprises that this appears. I think this is on a lot of people's list. Couldn't leave this off. The beautiful, fresh, clean, crisp Allure Homme Edition Blanche. Everything that needs to be said about this has pretty much been said. It's very creamy lemon. It's got vanilla and musk. Smells just very classy, very Chanel-like, and one of my favourites to wear in the warmer weather. Number 6, another one that doesn't really need much introduction in Fragcom, perhaps outside, but people in Fragcom know this. And this is from Mugler. It's Mugler Cologne, and I've actually only just spoken about this last week in my fragrances for life tag video, so I won't go on. I will say that I'll leave a link below for my full review on this, but it's a fresh, clean, out of the shower type of fragrance, and very green. One of my favourite spring fragrances. Number 5. Now, this is from one of my favourite houses, and there's something in the DNA of all the fragrances from this house that just draws me in. And the house is Ormond Jane, and this one is called Isfakand. Now, the key notes in here for me are lime, pink pepper, and ISOE super, and then it's got a really great vetiver cedar base. Blending in all of these fragrances is superb. I can't get enough of this one. I've also got the made-to-measure 50% concentration one, but when it's really hot, I actually prefer this EDP. It's a little bit lighter and fresher, but they're both fantastic. What are we up to? Number 4. One that, again, doesn't really need any introduction. This has become a bit of a Hall of Fame fragrance since it was released. Armani's Acqua di Gio Profumo. If you haven't smelt this, but you've smelt the original, this is just a more refined, deeper version, really. It's still got that unmistakable aquatic sea note accord that's in the original, but this one's got incense in here, which gives it a little touch of smokiness, and the citrus part of the fragrance has been toned down a little bit, so it is different. It's kind of like the mature older brother of the original, and in my opinion it's one of the rare times when the flanker actually surpasses the original. That's Acqua di Gio Profumo. Down to the top three. So this one definitely needs no introduction. A masterpiece in perfumery, Creed's Green Irish Tweed, and you can see I've got the 500ml bottle of this. Absolutely beautiful fragrance. It's designed to smell like a walk in the Irish countryside. Works for virtually any occasion. So versatile. Everything's been said about this. There's reviews all over YouTube, so go and have a look if you're not familiar with it. But it's for me, it's one of the most iconic men's fragrances of all time. That's Creed's Green Irish Tweed. We'll move that out of the way. So where are we? Keep losing my space. Number 2. So this is one of the best executed flankers ever, actually, in my opinion, and this is Turner O3A Fresh. Sorry about the ugly label, but I do label some of these fragrances for my sample business. But this one is a flanker from Turner, the original one, which is a really critically acclaimed fragrance. It actually won Base Notes Best Fragrance of the Century for Men, which was probably about 2015 that was done. And this one, for me, is just as good. It's a juicy, zesty fragrance. Starts out with orange, lemon and lime. It's almost like a strong citrus-flavoured water. O3A Fresh actually translates as fresh water. And this does have a very kind of cool, transparent, fruity water feel to it. The base is beautiful woods. It's got a hint of musk and vetiver. Although they're not listed as notes, I'm sure that they're in here. But overall, this is just an absolute superstar for spring and for summer, actually. And that leaves us just one. And this is my favourite release from any house, probably in the past 2 years, from the brilliant house of Roger Parfums. And this one is called Oligarch. Now, this does bear some similarities to the original Terre d'Hermès. It's different, but it's got similarities. It's got a very chypre opening of lemon, bergamot and lavender. It's got the orange. It doesn't have the orange that Terre d'Hermès has, but it still, even from the top, does have similarities. Develops and goes through a floral stage. It's got orange blossom. There's jasmine in here. And the base has got loads and loads going on, so many notes. It's very hard to try and break it down, but there's oak moss, cedar and pink pepper. And it's got that kind of slight gin type smell, which is coming from juniper berry in here. But Oligarch is a perfect name for this. You can imagine an oligarch smelling like this. It smells of class, it smells of wealth. Absolutely stunning. And that's my number 1 for spring. So there you go, guys. That's the end of another video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give a comment and to subscribe. Hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button so that you get notifications of any videos. I'll be doing lots more. My summer list won't be too far away. And remember, you can purchase samples of the ones that I've shown here and many others on my online store, which is fragrancesamplesuk.com. If you're outside of the UK, you can email us to discuss orders because you won't be able to order directly through the site. Thanks, guys. See you all soon with another video. Cheers.